Well, as recovery efforts do move forward in the areas that have just been devastated by the Eaton fire, firefighters still remain on alert as high winds continue to threaten their progress containing that fire. Pasadena Mayor Victor Manuel Gordo joins me now. He's been monitoring all the efforts by the minute. Mayor Gordo, I know you have not received any sleep in a week. You grew up in Pasadena. This is your home. You've spent most of your life there. Let's just talk about today how these fires are impacting you, your community, and the minority communities in particular.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's, having grown up in Pasadena and Altadena, people think of Pasadena and Altadena as two separate communities. We're really one. In fact, here locally, we call affectionately Pasadena, Altadena, Medina. And it's just sad to see so many of our friends and neighbors completely devastated. Entire neighborhoods just completely devastated. And so many have been directly, indirectly, so much loss.
Mayor, we've got a bit of a bad connection with you. I don't know if you're able to move around a little bit or closer to the device that you're on. Can we just try and get a little bit of a mic check here? If you could maneuver from your position, you were cutting out. Are you still with me?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. There we go. Now I can hear you. Yes. Okay. Let me get back to you were updating us on the community and the situation right now, but I definitely want to ask you about your schools there in Pasadena and the Unified School District. I know students have been devastated. What are you doing right now to just help get students get on with school? What's the plan?
Well, we're working with our school district. Our school district will remain closed until January 17th. We've had a number of schools that were completely devastated. I believe the last count was 6. Most of them, a few of them burned to the ground. Most of them sustained significant damage and will have to be rebuilt. And that's just in our community alone. And so we're working closely with the school district to first support those children and their families, and then transition them back into school and some sort of normalcy in the days going forward. But, let's not kid ourselves. This is a life-altering situation for the kids, for teachers, for all residents of Pasadena and Altadena.
Mayor, I've got to ask you about these lawsuits. There's several of them now that have been filed against Southern California Edison, alleging that its equipment caused the Eaton fire. How do you feel about these lawsuits, and do you have any insight into the investigation that's ongoing?
I don't. I'm not going to express an opinion or one way or the other at this point. Right now, we're still in emergency mode. And with the winds gusting as they are up in foothills, and you can see my laptop here getting a little bit of a shake, we're continuing to be prepared. We're asking people to stay out of the evacuation zones. Let me give you an idea of how quickly things can shift from one moment to another. At 6:02 on Tuesday, we received a call about a brush fire. At 6:15, our firefighters rolling to the scene. At 6:29, the fire had grown to 10 acres already. At 7 o'clock, Pasadena had opened its emergency operations center less than an hour later. At 7:07, we had 10 strike teams that we'd ordered and were en route to the fire. At 7:12, we began evacuation of orders. That's just about an hour after, and began evacuating. By that time, the fire had already moved to 200 acres. By 8 p.m., we had opened our convention center as an evacuation zone. And here, the beautiful Rose Bowl, where just 12 days ago, we celebrated the greatest pageantry in college football. We'd already opened it as the command headquarters. By 8:14, the fire had grown to 400 acres. So this situation that we're in could easily evolve to what we saw last Tuesday. And so lawsuits, bureaucratic procedures, all of that can wait. This is not the time for finger pointing. Certainly, they should be the source of fire should be thoroughly investigated. But at this point in time in Pasadena and Altadena, we remain focused on stopping the fire, protecting lives, and protecting property.
Point well made. Everybody wants answers at the same time, getting as much help as possible. And you're in a tremendous spot right there. Growing up in Southern California, going to a number of those Rose Bowls because I went to school there. Also that amazing flea market. I know how people gather in that community on the grounds that you are standing. And it's remarkable what your citizens are doing right now to help others. Pasadena Mayor Victor Manuel Gordo, thank you so much.